Colombia, a land of dense jungles and rugged mountain ranges, has been a battlefield for decades between two opposing forces. On one side is FARC, the Marxist-Leninist revolutionary force driven by ideals of uprooting social inequalities. On the other is AUC, the paramilitary fighters fiercely defending the upper class and their interests at any cost. This war is more than just a clash of ideologies. It's a struggle for power, resources, and the souls caught between the lines of life and death. But what truly drives these two groups to such irreconcilable extremes? And what legacy have they left behind? This is a story of blood and tears, but also a stark reminder of the value of peace. 1. Goals and scope of operation. 2. Opposing ideals. FARC, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, was established in 1964 with a mission of social justice and revolution. They fought for land rights for peasants, the eradication of injustices caused by the elite, and to resist the intervention of foreign corporations. FARC primarily operated in remote rural areas, setting up bases in jungles and mountainous regions beyond government reach. On the other hand, AUC, the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, was founded in the 1990s with the goal of preserving the status quo. Representing the wealthy landowners and businesses, AUC sought to protect these interests from the perceived threat posed by FARC. They focused on controlling economically strategic areas such as small towns, rich agricultural zones, and key trade routes. The two groups not only differed in their goals but also in their strategies. While FARC aimed to dominate rural areas to expand their revolutionary ideals, AUC concentrated on economic resources and exerting influence in urban centers. Their conflict was a war not just of ideologies but also of territorial control. 2. Organizational structure and strategies. Contrasting approaches to warfare. FARC operated as a tightly structured revolutionary army, with a Secretariat Council at its helm. They trained their forces not just in combat but also in ideology. Ensuring unwavering loyalty, their primary strategy was guerrilla warfare, surprise attacks on military forces and infrastructure, followed by retreats into the dense forests. In contrast, AUC functioned as an alliance of independent paramilitary groups. Despite their lack of centralized organization, they operated effectively due to their substantial financial backing. AUC's primary tactic was cleansing, large-scale campaigns aimed at eliminating anyone suspected of supporting FARC. One infamous example is the 1997 Mapuripan massacre, where dozens of civilians were brutally killed to intimidate local communities. Despite their differences, both FARC and AUC demonstrated adaptability. When government forces intensified military campaigns, FARC retreated deeper into the jungle, while AUC fortified their control over economic hubs. 3. Financial sources. The blood-stained economy. The prolonged conflict between FARC and AUC was not just fueled by ideals or political goals but also heavily reliant on financial sustainability. To maintain their forces, acquire weapons, and conduct operations, both groups depended on the resources they controlled. However, their financial strategies reflected the fundamental differences in their nature and approach. FARC and the revolutionary tax. From its inception, FARC leveraged its stronghold in remote rural areas, regions often neglected by the Colombian government. These areas, home to impoverished farmers and marginalized communities, were also fertile grounds for coca cultivation, the primary ingredient in cocaine production. Recognizing the economic potential, FARC established a financial system centered on taxing activities related to the drug trade. This levy was termed the revolutionary tax. Initially, FARC refrained from direct involvement in cocaine production or trafficking. Instead, they taxed coca farmers and local drug producers, justifying this as redistributing wealth from the rich to the poor. In reality, Those paying these taxes were often impoverished farmers with no alternative but to comply. Over time, as the conflict dragged on, FARC became increasingly involved in the cocaine supply chain. They began protecting drug processing labs and securing transportation routes through the jungles. By the 1990s, cocaine had become FARC's primary financial source, generating hundreds of millions of dollars annually. AUC and the support of the elite. Unlike FARC, AUC enjoyed substantial backing from wealthy landowners and corporations. Viewed as protectors against FARC and other leftist insurgents, AUC's financial support from the upper class allowed them to rapidly expand their influence. However, this funding was only part of their financial strategy. AUC directly engaged in the drug trade, controlling coca plantations, running processing labs, and managing trafficking routes. Unlike FARC, AUC openly acknowledged their involvement, framing it as a necessary measure to finance their war on terrorism. 4. Relationship with the government and society, shadow alliances. FARC was an open enemy of the Colombian government. However, in rural areas, they gained support from marginalized farmers who believed in their promises of land reform. But as FARC delved deeper into violence, this support gradually eroded. AUC, while officially deemed illegal by the government, maintained covert ties with some officials and landowners, seen as a shield against FARC. These murky collaborations drew criticism both domestically and internationally. 5. Strengths, weaknesses, endings, and legacy. FARC sustained loyalty through strict organization and strong ideals. However, their reliance on violence and the drug trade tarnished their image. The 2016 peace agreement marked the end of their armed struggle, transforming them into a legitimate political party. But reintegration remains challenging. AUC, bolstered by elite support, expanded rapidly, yet their extreme violence led to international condemnation, resulting in their disbandment in 2006. Despite this, remnants of AUC continue to engage in criminal activities. The legacy of both groups is a deep scar on Colombian society, millions displaced, thousands of lives lost, and lands littered with landmines. However, from this pain, Colombia has learned the value of peace and reconciliation, a lesson in the cost of conflict. The story of FARC and AUC is not just a chapter of Colombia's violent history, it's a cautionary tale about the price of conflict. Revolutionary ideals or economic interests pursued through violence lead only to devastating consequences, millions displaced, thousands of lives lost, and wounds that are difficult to heal. Yet, from this suffering, Colombia has charted a path toward peace. The 2016 peace agreement with FARC marked not just the end of a war but a testament to the power of dialogue and rebuilding. But peace is more than just the absence of war, it is forgiveness, unity, and the effort to create a fairer society. What does this story teach us? That violence is never the solution, and only understanding and dialogue can bring lasting change. Colombia's lessons are not just for them but for all of us, everywhere. At any time. What are your thoughts on this story? Can peace truly heal the wounds of war? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe for more videos, and share to spread the message of peace. See you in the next journey to explore history and learn from the past.